the AM Weekend Show. My name is Divine Onoha, and I'm still here with Ogochukwu Osai. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
How's the show going so far?
Fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Just fine.
One Nigerian thing, I think. We're moving on.
I mean,
Take it as it comes.
At this point, we need to pray. We need to pray for Nigeria.
I think it's only prayer that's the
We need to pray for that. But how do you feel about the Afia state, around the region reports though? How do you feel?
Honestly,
the oppositions are coming strong.
They are coming strong. I've actually, one of these days I was reading news, I saw how they were clamoring, they are planning. It's more like these people, you know, when you're watching a movie, you see people planning to overthrow this king. That's how it feels.
That's how it feels, honestly.
Honestly speaking, but the good thing is that the people
want who they want.
The man.
They know who they want.
People, they know what they want, and they're going to make sure that they do everything they're going to do to make sure he retains the power in 2027. So,
you know, myself, I don't want to say much about it because I already am going to have a bias since I'm from Abia State. So I may not be the best to give you the right take on this.
I think
I have a bias.
I think all of us do.
We do, right?
It's very obvious.
Okay, so my bias is justified considering the fact that the man is working.
Everybody is saying that this is the first governor of the state. So,
I'm not saying you should throw shit at us.
I'm not throwing shit. I'm being honest. Forgive me. You understand? So we all know if it's possible for us to vote from here, we are going to vote for him. We all love it. So it's not anything opposition coming. We know it's just, let's just say it's democracy playing out. But at the end of the day, we know the truth.
Okay, I'll still try not to say what's on my mind. If I say the way it's on my mind, it's going to trigger some people. But away from that, now we have a very interesting conversation. And this would be centered around Enugu and, in extension, the southeastern part of Nigeria. But we are looking at Enugu as a commercial hub. And we're looking at the impact of trade fairs in all this. So Enugu has been known for being a cultural city, a very, very cultural city, a culture rich in culture and traditions, but we're also seeing it evolve and grow into a commercial hub. And one of the things that has stood out about this is the trade fairs. We have a lot of trade fairs. I think in a year we can count maybe 10 different trade fairs organized by different individuals and different organizations. So we really want to deep dive into the matter and find out if these trade fairs are really of impact to Enugu State and the southeastern part of Nigeria at large. And joining us to talk about this is Onyegbaraeke David Chinedu, an event planner, a caterer, a chef, and the CEO, Nedubellefu Cakes at Events. Good morning and welcome to the show. Very powerful portfolio you have there.
Good morning.
Good morning. And your uniform, I mean.
I decided to be on this outfit today.
Proudly representing.
Proudly representing.
Okay, so I don't know if I murdered your name, your brand name, CEO Nedubellefu.
CEO Nedubellefu Cakes and Events.
Bellefu?
Yes.
Oh my God. That is nice. That is nice. Nedubellefu.
Yes.
Why didn't you complete the full now with double L?
No. Just Nedubellefu.
Bellefu.
We don't want to stress it.
Okay.
That's for the full, yeah.
That's nice. So I'm saying that you're an event planner, you're a caterer, you're a chef, and you're a man.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you, I mean, I'm just curious, how did you leave medicine, mechanic, and all those things that, you know, we believe that, yes, that there are areas that are more
naturally
for men. So how did you find yourself in the kitchen?
I actually studied accounting in school, but I ended up as an event planner, chef. I don't think it's done actually reason that way. You can decide to. I think it's a thing of passion. It didn't start today.
So how did it start for you?
It started way back before I got into primary school. So love cooking, doing chores in the kitchen, and lots more. So that was when I knew there was something about me with the kitchen.
Wow. That's nice. Would it be thanks to your mom?
Yeah.
Did she drag you to the kitchen? Because I know that their moms.
She really helped a lot.
Are you the first child?
No, I'm the second
Wow.
second child.
You know, I could have said, okay, because you're the first
Yeah.
child, it's no brainer that you have to
No.
work in it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Okay, that's nice. So we'll just get right into the conversation. And we, of course, we're talking about trade fairs in Enugu. And like I said, we've had a lot of trade fairs. We're seeing a lot of trade. I mean, there was a time I was so
I think
tired.
there's another one coming up.
There was
as well.
we were so tired. And I'm sure, I think we had that conversation once. Is a trade fair is really fair. But I'd like to know, what's your first impression about trade fair? When you hear trade fair, what comes to your mind?
Window shoppings and buying things at lesser prices, discounted prices. And as I think when I hear or when someone says trade fair, I think it's an avenue for sightseeing, satisfy your sight, a lot of activities going on at trade fairs, games. A lot of times they involve games and other social activities, not just buying and selling.
Okay.
Yes.
But you as a vendor,
Okay.
when you hear trade fair, what comes to your mind?
Okay. Oh my God, is an era
Is
of
it time
cash
to
out.
cash out? Okay.
It's an era for cash out. Yes. Making massive sales, having connections with a lot of people you don't know before then, and then visibility, expanding your visibility. Yes, because in fact, they concluded international trade fair at Gulf Enugu here. I connected with a whole lot of brands, not just individuals. I did some shout outs for some brands like Ope and some other brands. Yeah. So, and then this led to business afterwards. I've been in talks with some brands for further business, transactions. So, trade fairs, if I were to say how impactful trade fair has been to me, it has really made me versatile and more versatile, because I am versatile already. It has made me more versatile. Being connected to people, going to places which I can never thought. Yeah,
so you think
exactly.
trade fair is worth it?
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Okay.
It's beyond buying and selling. Yes.
Okay, now I just want to ask, just to be sure, for you as a vendor, we've agreed that you make massive sales and cash out period, of course. So, but between, and you also mentioned exposure and all of that. So between cashing out and exposure, which one has the greater percentage? Like, which one would you say you achieve more in a trade fair? Is it the cash out or the exposure?
For me, it's the exposure. Because when trade fairs or a trade fair is being mentioned, it's a window shopping. This is an era when vendors or entrepreneurs come out in mass, in masses, or in mass rather, to sell their goods. Do you understand? And then they slash their prices. So I won't really say it's a time for a lot of cash out and all that. But then the visibility and it comes with is something, relationship you build, is actually a whole lot, and it's enough already.
Okay. Now, talking about trade fairs in Enugu particularly, so we've had different situations where people would go for trade fairs, vendors too. I mean, I'm talking about vendors for now, since you're a vendor. So they go for trade fairs. There was one we went for last year. I don't want to mention the one. So, but we got a lot of complaints about it being for you. I mean, I'm so glad I'm hearing you say all of this about it.
Yeah.
But we see other vendors who go for trade fairs and they tell you they just wasted their time. They just wasted their products. They didn't get
wasted
sales.
money trying
They
to
didn't.
advertise.
They weren't strategic.
Okay, so that was the question I was going to ask, whether it is their fault.
It's actually
there's
their
something
fault.
with the
It's
trade fair.
actually their fault, because before you go for the trade fair or you go for such kind of events, you do have to carry your followers, your audiences along. Imagine going for a trade fair without putting out videos or content of you preparing yourself for such an event. How would people that knows you, or people who are yet to know you to get in touch with you, or to buy, to afford, to buy from you, get to know that such an event will be happening at such time, or do you get? So a lot of time I got this even after the concluded trade fair, international trade fair, where vendors were saying they were, in as much as there wasn't enough publicity for that trade fair, it is your duty to now re-strategize, make enough of content, videos, put them out, advertise your product, and let people know that this is going to be happening. You're going to be here at such time duration. Like I myself, before I went from the trade fair, before I started, I have to bought the keke from town just for direction. I paid the keke. Whole lot of, he collected a whole lot of money, but I didn't mind. So just to make things easier for my buyers, for my audience, my loved ones who would love to come, show me love there by patronizing me, I had to record myself. I did the recording. Recorded myself to the trade fair.
Okay.
I never did this because spending, like I derive joy in spending, but just to get myself prepared and know I actually played my role.
Your role.
Perfectly.
Yeah. So I have a question. So you're trying to explain that social media plays a very crucial role.
A very huge role.
But before social media became a thing, I knew trade fair. Let's talk about like the international trade fair when it was still at Polo Park. So does it mean now that then I feel like the whole publicity is on the trade fair, then when you're coming to buy something what you like. Now, but with this style now, it means you're now inviting people to come to the trade fair for you.
Yes.
So is there a difference of, does it make any difference of me doing the advertisements and staying in my shop while people come to my shop to buy, and also, and then doing the advertisements for them to come to the trade fair to buy from me? So does it make any difference?
Just to buttress what she's saying,
okay.
Now, like she said, there was a time that social media was not a thing.
Yeah.
And when you call for trade fairs like this, shops will see it as the perfect opportunity to go out there, bring their products and all of that. So in this situation now, if they still have to rely heavily on social media. Already, I'm assuming that no sensible vendor will be on social media and not be posting. So prior to trade fair, they've been posting. So now trade fair, it's supposed to be something different. And you're not hoping for the same audience. You're hoping for newer people who probably haven't met you on social media to come for it. So if we're saying that they still have to rely heavily on social media, then how does trade fair really help them?
Come again. Let me really understand, because
okay, you've understood the angle we're coming from, which is the fact that you're saying that they still have to rely heavily on social media.
Yes.
Now, we are now saying that if they still have to rely heavily on social media for their trade fair to be impactful, then of what use is the trade fair to them, since they still have to pull their followers that they have built to come for that trade fair? They might as well pull those followers to their shops
and not wait for them to register and become part of the trade fair.
Now I get you.
Yes, please.
As a vendor exhibiting at a trade fair, you're not just coming to sell. And then the trade fair also is set aside as an avenue, the trade fair as an avenue to connect with vendors, to connect with opportunities. Do you understand? So I think if I got you correctly, I think trade fair, like they can't actually do without trade fair.
Vendors cannot do without trade fair?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if
I'm getting you. So I'm listening for you to tell us the reason.
So you can't do without trade fair because the visibility, what they bring to you freely, the things they bring to you, just like the concluded trade fair, they brought a whole lot, which at some points we made some content and some shout out to the governor of Enugu State, Peter Mba. Yes. So for his enormous and continuous support to SMEs, businesses in Enugu State, because trade fair has really, 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 really relieved us from, or relieved a lot of stress, financial stress, because that's really giving small businesses opportunities to come out, make bulk sales, and have other opportunities from the SME. Do you understand?
Okay. I do, even though it looks like the question wasn't quite answered.
Yeah, I feel like what you're trying to highlight now is the bulk sales thing.
Yeah.
So it helps you people make a turnover easily and also network.
I get what he's saying. He's emphasizing that trade fairs still have other benefits, which is connecting with vendors, networking, meeting new people. But the only issue we had was that pulling your followers thing, which is counterproductive. If I'm coming to a trade fair, I'm expecting to get new people instead of. I mean, it's okay to pull your followers.
Having your followers is just like a plus.
Okay, it's a plus. It's not the main focus.
It's not the main focus. Okay. And that's why the social media, and that's where the social media comes in, where you get new people who get to know about your brand or your product and services.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay. That means there must be other strategies that these vendors can apply. Since social media is not the main one, we have to probably have other strategies that they can apply, so that when they go for trade fairs like this, they will not come back crying. If you know those other strategies apart from social media, perhaps you can just suggest to us.
Is there other things
you think they should
at
do
the ground
so that
in order to get customers to make your sales, so that the person doesn't cry at the end of the day?
Exhibiting vendors can go live on their socials.
Social media.
And they can actually, there's what we call crazy marketing.
Okay.
You can re-strategize by coming with sales assistants who would go around with your goods. It's just for that time. It's not forever. You yourself as a brand owner can even front it. They can even head the thing. Go out with your goods. Imagine someone selling, selling food. I sold grills, chicken, protein, all kinds of protein and food at the trade fair. What I did, at some extent, I had to film the chicken, the grilled full chicken, in a plate, a disposable plate, and I had to go around with it like this. Just to what? I mean, inside the MBL arena, not outside the MBL arena.
Okay.
And I had people coming to my stand. A lot of people were informed that, there's actually something, because it has different vendors. So, and then someone sitting next after me, like in my neighbor's stand, can't be aware that there's something happening there. Yes. So there is variety of whatever you want. It's just you getting to know. So what I did was I had to go around and I saw people come out with which priceless or so.
That's nice. I'm glad you had such a wonderful experience, because I mean this conversation was important. Let's know if he's truly working. Not every day we'll be preparing for trade fair and people are crying. But I'm glad that your experience has been wonderful so far. So on a final note, we've run out of time. I'd like to know, do you think it's something that more vendors should sign up for? Do you think it's something here in Enugu, like I said, we already do a lot. Do you think we need more, or should we just stick to what we have? And then if you have any final words for anybody at all, just give it here and we'll call it a wrap.
If you ask me, I think we still need more, and we need the government to equip us, the vendors. There are certain things we need, do you understand, to help these businesses grow.
Help, like what?
Programs, they say men are made in meetings, programs to help, to equip us, knowledge, like to increase So, and then I think we are okay with what we have, and we are open for more trade fairs if possible.
So, one last question. A trade fair is organized by individuals and the one organized by the government, which is more better for you people?
If
your experience so far,
if
have
you
you
ask
tried?
me, it's considering the location. It's outside the town. So we had challenge with it. And then there wasn't enough advert and before the trade fair started. So in recent times, the one organized by individuals, I think, sells more, yeah. Okay. Just like the one we just started at ShopRite yesterday, Santa Fe.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Are you part of it as well?
No, but I just went there yesterday to say hi to some vendors.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
As for the shout out, I have something happening on the 27th of May. It's tagged Family Fiesta, organized by Party Times Events.
Okay, so are you shouting out to someone?
No, yes,
yourself.
No, it's to someone.
Okay. So who are you shouting out to?
At Party Time.
You're shouting out to Party Time?
Party Time.
All right, a big shout out to Party Time from Nedu.
Nedu, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us,
So
sir.
we've got more tickets for this program. The ticket costs 3,000 naira. It's for both adults and family and kids. Sorry. So,
are you giving for free?
No.
This is an advertisement.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. That was Onyegbaraeke David Chinedu, an event planner, caterer, and a chef, the CEO of Nedubellefu Cakes at Events. Up next on the AM Weekend Show is our next conversation right after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.